New business.
So I would first ask the board to move on the submission of the memorandum of agreement between the Palisades Park School District and the local police department, please.
I make a motion to move.
Second on that?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? And again, I hope we can work together. It's a new year, and I'm sure we will for the betterment of the students and staff and the community. Roll call, please.
This is the MOA submission, correct? I need a resolution to submit with the signed copies.
And Barnabas made
Barnabas made the
resolution.
motion and Jason second.
No, this is,
Yeah, we have three and
Yeah.
individually, right?
Individual, okay.
is that the first? That's the first one. Want me to read it?
No, we did it.
Okay.
Okay, so
Roll call,
Barnabas
please.
and Dr. Matarazzo?
Yes.
Stephanie Jen?
Yes.
Jason Kim?
Yes.
Rebecca Lee?
Yes.
John Madison?
Yes.
Ewan Lynn?
Yes.
Barnabas Will?
Yes.
Jeffrey Will?
Yes.
Timothy Young?
Yes.
Second, under new business, I would ask the board to consider for approval. We also have to issue a statement of assurance that each of our schools have been checked for a health and safety evaluation. That is part of the DPRs, District Performance Reviews, that usually only happens with CUSAC. Being that we're being CUSAC next school year, the 19-20 school year, we still have a responsibility to have a health and safety evaluation in our schools, so we do need a resolution as well.
I'd like someone to make a resolution on that.
I like to make a motion.
Second on that?
I'll
Second.
second it.
Okay. I guess that was John?
Jason and Stephanie have been arguing.
Okay.
John and Stephanie,
Yes, keep it up, that's good. Okay, any discussion on that? If not, roll call, please.
Dr. Matarazzo?
Yes.
Stephanie Jen?
Yes.
Jason Kim?
Yes.
Rebecca Lee?
Yes.
John Madison?
Yes.
Ewan Lynn?
Yes.
Barnabas Will?
Yes.
Jeffrey Will?
Yes.
Timothy Young?
Yes.
And finally, from me, be it resolved that the board, upon the recommendation of the superintendent, approves a program agreement between the Community Food Bank of New Jersey in conjunction with SNAP Ed and the Palisades Park School District's 21st Century Program. More specifically, part of our grant after school program is that we have outside vendors, per se, come in and also teach courses. Each and every one of these individuals will be fingerprinted, will be state approved, and will offer courses with regard to proper cooking and or cleaning and quality cooking habits. And I know a lot of our younger kids are taking care of their siblings sometimes, so I would rather teach them proper ways about going about it.
Great, do I have a motion on that?
Make a motion.
Second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Dr. Matarazzo?
Yes.
Stephanie Jen?
Yes.
Jason Kim?
Yes.
Rebecca Lee?
Yes.
John Madison?
Yes.
Ewan Lynn? Yes. Barnabas Will?
Yes.
Jeffrey Will?
Yes.
Timothy Young?
Yes.
Okay, the next item is going to be about the referendum. I'd like to read what was sent to us by Josh Thompson. It says, "Dear Dr. Cirillo, as discussed, please see the attached memo regarding pre-referendum services, Phase 1, for the board to review and approval. Upon board approval, please execute the third page and return a scan for our records. A second document will follow for the board review at the anticipated, says February 21st board meeting regarding potential services required."
So part of the process, clearly, as I've mentioned many a times, is a submission of applications 6 months prior to any referendum vote. So March would be our deadline for a September vote. September is our date that we are looking for a vote from the public and the community. There will be many forums, there will be many community events that we discuss what we are looking to do, not just from a school standpoint, but also from a community standpoint. There is talk of a rec center, there is talk of major upgrades district-wide. Clearly, this is something that everyone needs to understand fully before they go cast a ballot. But with that being said, I am not waiting till March. I am not waiting till February 21st. We're gonna do this now as a Phase 1 application submission to keep the ball moving in the right direction. And we will, again, next month have another application to submit to Trenton.
Thank you, and it's an excellent, excellent project. That's one thing that I hope we all pass, and we could utilize our budget money for other items which are very important as well. Next
We
item,
do need a resolution.
okay, so we need a resolution to submit this. Anyone would like to make a resolution?
I'd like to make a resolution.
A second on that?
Second.
Okay. Any questions or comments or concern? Yes?
I have a question.
No.
Not yet, not yet.
Yes, I only
It's
had-
okay.
Sorry. Any questions, comments, concerns?
No, could we get a copy of that, so we can read it?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just the identified,
Oh, I thought it
this
was-
is no different than what was identified in years past.
Okay.
So we have items from a long-range facility plan from 2005 that have been identified. That was 14 years ago. We also have issues that I've identified over the course of the past 6 years as superintendent. In addition, at 4:30 this afternoon, because we've had pipes freeze in the last 2 days, and thank you to Mr. Spalazzo, to the whole custodial staff for being in our schools on Monday, being in our schools last night. Thank you to Mr. Beck for, I'm sure, leaving the dinner table again. Guys, the buildings are in major needs of repair. The pipes are freezing, and I know it's something that's happening due to weather, but it's also due to pipes that are 40, 50 years old. Boilers that can't sustain the heat needs in our schools clearly are identified in this referendum. Again, they were identified 15 years ago. It's nothing new. It's something that needs to be done yesterday. So we clearly have to have these votes, we have to submit our applications, and part of that process is to seek reimbursement from the state. Any renovations, you are eligible as a district and a community up to 40% back. Renovations, any new construction is 100% out of your pocket. I know in meeting with buildings and grounds over the past 3 years on this issue, we are really being cost effective, we are really being conscious of your tax dollars. If you live in this municipality, we're trying to do our very best with regard to renovations. But clearly, some of our structures are in need of new construction. So there will be some work that is new.
And we've identified in all of the schools, including this one, which is one of the newest ones, where we do need to address. We really, really do. And this is the year it has to be done. Thank you.
Dr. Grillo, so the resolution, just so it's explicit, so everybody knows what they're voting on, would it be fair to say that this is a vote on a resolution to enter into a professional services agreement with this entity for preparing a referendum submission application to the New
Yes, sir.
Jersey Department of Education?
Yes, sir. And the
Exactly.
company and vendor of record that Mr. Petracca is alluding to is Paret Samjian, who is the architect of record retained by this board. Correct.
Okay.
Then you approved Dr. Rework meeting as the architect of
Speak
record.
louder.
Okay,
Yes.
So you
So-
still wanna,
so that is the resolution that you'd be passing.
Follows the one.
all right.
Okay, great.
So just so the public knows, the architects that are submitting the applications on behalf of the board are the architects of record, Paret Samjian, who has done extensive work in the state of New Jersey.
Great. We have a motion and we have a second. Roll call, please.
Dr. Matarazzo?
Yes.
Stephanie Jen? Yes. Jason Kim?
Yes.
Rebecca Lee?
Yes.
John Madison?
Yes.
Yui Min? Yes. Barnabas Rose?
Yes.
Jeffrey Will?
Yes.
Timothy Wayne?
Yes.
I'd be remiss if I did not mention that the Board of Education, I think, I don't know if you all got a copy, we didn't send it to everyone yet, but the Palisades Park High School PTSA will be having a fundraiser for project graduation. It's going to be a pasta dinner, and it is going to be held at the Elks Club, 536 10th Street in Palisades Park. It's going to be on February 8th, from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. $12 for adults, $8 for children, and I urge everyone to support this worthwhile event, and I thank Rose and everyone on the committee too for doing this, and it's a great avenue to be able to help fund this project. Thank you. New business, nothing else in the business, okay, we'd like to, sir.
Yeah, Joe, do you want me to read it?
Please, Jason, if you don't mind.
On January 31st, which is a Thursday, we will have a visitor from the Korea, about 24 educators. And they like to see our school system as well as how do we place our students for the college, and also how do we conduct the AP classes. So if any board member like to participate in, you are more than welcome to do that. It is 9 in the morning for about 1.5 hours.
What date is it again?
When is that?
So January 31st, which is a Thursday, 9 a.m.
Do you know what part of the school from the Korea?
It's not a school. It's the thing that I heard of it was that they are higher level ranking educators specialize on college placement, college test prep, and that kind of things.
And I think, Jason, if I may add to that as well, I had the pleasure of meeting them. So clearly, it's right, it's next Thursday. It's right after midterm exams or final exams for half-year courses. So what we also wanted to look at is, we were the first public high school in the state of New Jersey to offer Korean as a foreign language. And I feel like that was 8 years ago. And we are trying to form or foster more cordial relations with the College Board with regard to an AP, an advanced placement test for those students. We have them in other world languages. And I firmly believe that our students at that high school can be successful in such an exam if it was offered. So we need the consulate's office, we need different representatives that are made up of this group to come here and voice those same needs from as far as South Korea. So if we work in partnership, I think hopefully the goal is not just one-sided and not just gonna benefit children from Palisades Park, but from all over the world.
Great, thank you, great.
If anyone is going to attend on the board, please let me know.
I will.
All right, so if we have more than 5, Diane would have to advertise, so we're not reaching.
I'll be there.
How about this, first 4 to reply are in.
Okay, so I'll represent everyone, hopefully.
Thank you, Doctor.
Pleasure. Okay, we're calling this open to public. This is not gonna be audience participation anymore, it's open to public, and that's what I'd like to do right now. Yes, sir. Please identify who you are.
I am Lee Musler. I teach at the high school. I'm the vice president of negotiation. Dr. Cirillo was kind enough to suggest about 2 or 3 months ago that I provide a list of dates for potential meetings between the PPDA and also the Board of Education. And I would ask if you could please take a look at those dates, hopefully in the near future. If those dates are no good, please let me know. I'll leave you my phone number, my email, anything you need, but we are anxious to get seated at the table and kind of start to move on with this process.
Okay, that would be Mrs. Jang, and whenever you're ready, we'll look at them, and then she could let Diane know, which she could probably then let everyone know. Thank you very much. Yes, ma'am.
Melissa Lombardo, PTA, PTSA board member and everything. The PTA is holding a citrus sale that started yesterday and is ending February 8th. We're hoping that once everything is ordered and everything, our fruit will be arriving the first full week of March, weather permitting, and fresh from the Florida groves. The money that is raised will go back to the children's schools of both Lindbergh and ECC. And we were discussing maybe donating maybe some Chromebooks if we get enough profits from these sales. Along with the PTSA, now that you mentioned the pasta dinner, we're also hosting a beefsteak dinner, March 24th from 4 to 8. Tickets will be $35. It's also a tricky tray if I didn't mention, and it's gonna also be held at the Palisades Park Elks Lodge. We're inviting the entire board members. Come out and help us. Come
Absolutely.
join us.
And you're going to have flyers, and you're going to have...
We're putting up flyers, we're
Great.
putting up everything. We wanna post it on the websites. We're gonna start everything, and all the monies from the beefsteak and all that is going to Project Graduation.
Excellent.
We are also talking and discussing and gathering information of hopefully running a carnival. With that being said, we're gonna share that along with the fire department and the police department and do like a 3-way split of everything. Fire department's on board, I'm still working on the police department, they're pretty much on board, but we're getting all the information, the prices, and we're gonna be needing a lot of volunteers, people. So, and again, that's gonna go towards project graduation.
Excellent.
And
Excellent.
the
Thank
schools
you
and
so
kids.
much for your effort on that, and tell everyone on your committee it's worthwhile, and you know we'll try to be there.
Thank you,
Everything we can. We're
Yep.
100% behind it. Great.
thank you.
Anyone
When is the
else?
fruit sale?
Excuse me?
When is the fruit sale?
The fruit's already going on now, in both Lindbergh School and kindergarten over here. It's gonna be hopefully over February 8th. I did it a week early because all orders have to be in by the 15th, and there's always stragglers, so, and I wanna get everything together and properly ordered. So for the next couple of weeks, we have the sales going.
And who do we ask for the,
We have
have-
order forms
Okay.
here.
Forms with us if you'd like us to leave.
Yeah.
we can leave some here, and if anyone would like order forms, please, and pass the word for this great worthwhile event. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you again.
Healthy year, healthy start.
Anyone else? Yes, ma'am.
Hi, my name's Diane Ryan. I work for the ECC here. My biggest problem is we have no parking here. And on Thursdays and Fridays, I ride around a half hour. I'm no spring chicken. And when you have to park 3 blocks away, it's ridiculous. I don't understand why we can't use at least half the library lot. I mean, for a couple of months, we were using it, and then they took it away from us.
Maybe we could check into it. You have? And is it in the process?
I'll-
If you could ask.
I will ask again. I am
What was-
sympathetic, I am understanding, and as the weather gets worse, and again,
That's my
I
biggest fear.
clearly appreciate and respect each and every one of you and what you do, and it's not, again, I applaud you for being here, it's not necessary, and I do appreciate it. But the reality is, if this was something that I could give you back, I would never have taken it away. It's something that I clearly have discussed at the municipal level, and I'm gonna tell you wholeheartedly, I'll do it again as early as tonight.
Because-
But again, if it falls on deaf ears, understand that clearly it's not something we as a board or me as a superintendent has done happily or willingly. I will speak to the town again and see what that will
And
change.
because we're not residents, our biggest fear is if when we park
Tickets.
so many blocks away, are we gonna get a ticket for not having a
Sure.
resident
I
sticker?
completely understand. I promise you, I will look into it tomorrow. I'll be in touch with Ms. Vivanco.
And it wasn't just the ECC.
For the record, Ms. Anderegg has been advocating for you guys for the last 2 or 3 months, and I promise you, I've addressed it.
When we were parking there, it was also residents parking in the library, so it wasn't just us taking the spots, it was the residents were parking all day long.
It should
So-
not be.
I will look into it in the morning.
I would appreciate it.
Okay, could you let me know?
Sure.
Otherwise, could I have a limo to take me to work every morning?
Uber. We'll get you-
Dr. Razzle's retired, so I'll pick you up.
Semi, but I will. We'll check, I promise you we'll check on it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
If I may add
Yes.
on to that, as a former deputy director of the library, at that time, I was instructed to tell the teachers not to use the library parking lot because it's 2 different identities. So Dr. Cirillo is correct. This decision is done by municipality level, which is coming from the mayor. So he has to talk with the mayor.
So maybe when we go to the mayor and council meeting, if nothing's done by then, I will go on the 29th and I will represent your concerns.
Thank you.
I promise you that.
I mean, we're not asking for the whole
Right.
library, just half.
Sure.
because, you know,
Yes.
there's over 60 people in this building.
Sure. Yes, sir.
Joseph Palazzo, I'm just wondering, isn't that property that the library is built on owned by the school board? Being that that was Lindbergh School?
Joe, I know you pretty well.
that
When you
was-
ask these
that-
questions, I know you know the answer to
That
them.
was CBS School.
So the answer is
This
yes,
whole
it's probably
lot
the
should be
schools.
That property that the library
And
is
they
on.
lease it out?
I don't
Did
know.
we ever give ownership to the town? for that
Probably.
property?
I'm sure if we could
If I
investigate
may,
that.
I'm just used to.
Jason, you were the former